All right, our TriState triumphs for tonight takes to West Point, New York, where former Quincy Notre Dame offensive line star and the current Assistant Director of Football Operations, Army, Captain Zach Reichert, joins us now. And first of all, Zach, I know that this has been a really unique journey for you from Quincy Notre Dame to West Point, now into Division I football. First and foremost, looking back at your experience as a cadet and coming through, and as a starting offensive lineman your senior year, do you kind of pinch yourself and just, again, the privilege it has been to be part of such a prestigious academic institution?
Absolutely. Sometimes it's hard to believe that I'm back here at West Point with the football team. It really does. I do have to pinch myself. I know when I was here, I took for granted a lot of what's around me, whether it's the Hudson River, the mountains, and the trees that are, I mean, in the fall, it's just a beautiful setting that now my wife and I have really come to appreciate. And now that I have this time to really, we've been taking walks just about every day. It truly is a gorgeous campus. And I'm just honored to have been a part of it and be back with it. And it's really given me a greater appreciation of Mikey Stadium. It sits right on Lusk Reservoir. It's an awesome setting. And it sits right on a mountain. I really appreciated all of that, and it's pretty amazing to be back.
Division football is hard enough. You're balancing that with an engineering degree with the rigors of being a cadet. And that is a wholly unique experience, I think, within college football. For you, what part of that gravitated to your personality, Zach?
Well, I mean, I couldn't have gotten there without a lot of help from friends, teachers, instructors, families, coaches. But, one of the things, I learned from my father and from Coach Cannell is that blue-collar grinder mentality, just keep your head down, keep chugging, always keep fighting, don't give up. I know during the first couple of years here, there's definitely some tough moments, riding the pine, being on the scout team, being the best team player as I could. But also, as you mentioned, the academics here, we're catching up a little bit. It was a tough time. But, I talked to a lot of friends, coaches, and stuck through and kept fighting and ended up, making a okay, not too bad career, I hope, out of it. And, graduated on time and pursued my military career there afterwards.
Well, you had a lot of practice walking at Quincy Notre Dame, obviously, for Coach Connell. Your senior year, when you started at Army, you guys were one of the more successful run teams in the entire nation. Did you see a lot of parallel offensively, and what did you kind of learn about yourself getting a chance to be a starting, Division I offensive lineman?
Absolutely. I mean, in high school, we were grinded out. We're going to be power right down your throat type of football team. And I love that mentality. I think it's the funnest way, or the most fun way to play as an offensive lineman, is knowing that you get to line up against somebody and it's you versus him every play, who's the better man. And coming here to West Point and running the option, it's very similar. And now there's a little more misdirection than, running power, dive, right down the chute. But it is very much, let's go mano a mano. Let's do it. Let's see who's got the better mentality. I love that type to get up and go. I know a lot of people, do the pass happy offenses. And I mean, that's great and all, but that's not the O-line's dream. O-line wants to get after somebody every play. And it was an awesome experience.
When you finished college football, it was not initially in your plans to be a part of, the Army football program moving forward. Kind of give me architecture of how that worked out for you, Zach, under Munkin.
Absolutely. So Coach actually got here right during my spring of senior year, so I didn't get the honor of playing with him. But yeah, at the time I was ready to move on. I was ready to go and start the Army career. And I did that, went 3 years in Hawaii, and I spent a year and a half after Hawaii at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. And while there, I had the opportunity to really reach back to the program. They had known about me, and I was expressed interest in coming back and helping in any way possible if a position ever opened up. And it was last December that they came and really said, would you still be interested in this job? And I said, absolutely. And then they offered me the position to come and fill an operations role here. And I'm just honored to have the opportunity to work with this staff. Coach Monken, he's a heck of a leader, and to be able to learn how he runs organization, to see the differences from what I had to what he does now is just further broadens my leadership, experience and capabilities, and I've loved every second of it.
So you have been a logistical specialist throughout your Army career. This is now just translating a lot of that to football. For the folks out there who wonder kind of what you do day to day for operations, again, it feels a little bit like a catch-all. You wear a lot of hats, don't you?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not necessarily X's and O's on the football field, but I do all the behind the scenes work. That's, scheduling buses for the team to get to and from, whether it's game day or a hotel or even for practice. It's visiting the hotel, ensuring that all their operations are in line with what we want in terms of our meals and all of our meeting rooms. It's going, when I'm on the road, going to the opposing team stadium and working with their staff on ensuring we have our practice time set up. We know when we need to take the field on game day, and when we can set up meals before and after practice. Setting up airlines and flights, as well as setting up police escorts. There's a lot that goes into it throughout the week, especially during the season. And then when we hit the off season, we still have practice and daily workouts that we have to take into account. I got to ensure that all of our practice facilities are ready to go, scheduled on time, and that our players make it up here on as well. And then there's a recruiting piece. I'm still dialed into recruiting, helping out and bringing in the guys as needed, and help talking to them and giving them perspective from a former football player on what being a West Point football player means to me and how it can mean to them going forward.
I have to imagine with the successes that you've had, Zach, that's a pretty easy sell for you. I mean, you seem a West Point man.
Absolutely. This is it's a dream. I mean, I'm like, as you mentioned, I'm pinching myself, and there's no better motivator than just to be with my school and be back here ready to win. It's awesome.
From the standpoint of, back in 2017, I got to fill a bucket list item and go to Philadelphia and be a part of an Army-Navy game, which was just unreal. And that's sitting in the stands. I can imagine what it's been like for you, both as a player and now coming back to be a part of that particular experience. For anybody who's not been a part of Zach, what kind of personal resident memory is all of that for you, whether as a player or now part of the staff?
It's a spectacle. And as you saw, and you picked a good one, by the way, big win, but it's just something else, whether it's the march on at the beginning of the game, it's all during the game, they show all these advertisements that Army is doing against Navy and Navy is doing against Army. It's just truly awesome. You see all these former military veterans that are coming and watching, yelling and supporting their team. The stadium's packed. You can't find a seat. And to see that for Army and Navy on big time television is pretty neat. And, my junior year, I made lucky, was in the right place at the right time. And one of our starters actually went down with an injury. So it wasn't great for them, but it was my first start. And it was the first time I was able to get my brother out to an Army Navy game. And it was just, we didn't quite get the result we wanted, but I'll never forget just having them be there and, kind of felt like it made it. Like I mentioned, the first 2 years were tough, and we finally got an opportunity to start junior year and carried that over senior year.
We got a chance to mention this on campus at Quincy Notre Dame that we were doing these Where Are They Nows. A lot of folks kind of made the point, well, you should catch with Zach. I mean, he's doing some really incredible things. How much of the whole Notre Dame experience and being part of Coach Cannell's, atmosphere and environment, how much did that help to serve you when you got to West Point? You kind of touched on it a little bit because it was difficult at the beginning.
Absolutely. But Quincy Notre Dame, I feel, helped me out greatly. It just, whether it was through Coach Cannell and his coaching staff, the great teachers that were there, Mr. Ray Heilman, heck of a principal. I was there. He was great supporter. And then I had some great friends while I was there, and great support system. They just helped develop me, elite, and really one great person that also helped me was Herb Wellman. and great leader, and helped guide me. He helped get my application straight and really get me there. And, I'm really proud to have been part of Quincy Notre Dame, and I think that they've done a great job producing leaders.
The TriState has had a pretty good run. Our local guys been a part of the West Point fraternity, if you want to call it that, you will. How much do you see those guys, and how much do you think you all kind of carry a little bit of TriState pride? Because you guys have all achieved something incredibly special and resonant within our culture.
Absolutely. And I'd say I've kept more in touch with both the Notre Dame and senior high guys. We talk, and then especially David Musso, we came out the same year. We were good friends in high school. We graduated. We're still close to this day. And Matt Hugenberg happened to play with him here. But it's awesome to have guys from home that you can relate to, and just, talk about whether time at West Point or what's going on in the Army. It's pretty neat. And then, we've had plenty of guys from senior high, local areas, Jacob Conley, keep in touch with all those guys. And it's been fun.
The service component is obviously something special to us as well. And I don't want to say you lucked out that Hawaii is a first assignment.
Absolutely. Just right place, right time a little bit. We were there for 3 years. It was amazing. And my wife and I would love to go back if we can, but, it is a little hard on family life. You're pretty far away. It's 5-hour time difference, but it was amazing. And wife picked up surfing while we were there, and just awesome. It truly is an amazing experience.
Last one for you, Zach. I know you really can't predict with any certainty when you're in the military what the next act will be. Kind of how do you see this play out? And it sounds like you're really enjoying your current assignment.
Absolutely. This assignment right here, I love being back with the football team. It's really getting me experience in that football realm, kind of coaching experience, as well as the operational side. Taking that in as much as I can. But as far as military goes, the next step would then be taking command somewhere. I'd have to leave West Point here in the next year or two, and take command at the next post or unit of assignment. It could be anywhere, Fort Campbell, Fort Bragg. We're going to see where it takes us. Wife and I, we're welcoming our first child this August. Hopefully everything goes okay. And with that being said, things change. Maybe the military is or is not in the cards going forward. We're going to figure out how we want to help raise a family as healthily as possible.
Well, congratulations to you on that. I can't think of anything more exciting than that, and I know you'll be a fantastic father. Captain Reichert, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for going out so well for the TriState. You've done us all very proud.
Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it.